Senior Resource Services is a non-profit organization assisting the elderly and their families in addressing the issues of aging. It is committed to providing respite care to family members and primary caregivers of individuals suffering from Alzheimer's and other aging issues. Senior Resource Services is able to provide the much-needed services at absolutely no charge to individuals and their families. Senior Resource Services provides an opportunity for volunteers who want to help others with the Time Out Caregiver Respite Program or the Special Friend Program. The Time Out Caregiver Respite Program is when a caregiver receives 2 hours a week to do what they need, while a trained volunteer cares for their loved one at home. The Special Friend Program is when a volunteer provides transportation to the doctor's, the dentist's office, grocery shopping, senior centers, and special events for those seniors in need. Senior Resource Services serves Greeley and other communities in Weld County at no cost while assisting the elderly and the caregivers of the elderly with the help of local volunteers.
When I retired, one of the teachers that I worked with, her mother, DeeAnn Groves, organized the Senior Resource Services, started that nonprofit organization, and before I retired she said, I'd really like you to come and volunteer and work with some of the senior citizens that we have, and she called and said, I've got a guy you need to meet. His name's Roy. And so I agreed to come and meet Roy, and I had some experience with individuals who have Alzheimer's because my mother-in-law was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and my wife and I would go and visit her at the nursing home, and I just sort of developed this affinity for people of the older generation. I'd always been a school teacher and an elementary school principal, and all my focus had been on kids, but as I retired I knew I wanted to do something different, so I got involved with SRS, and Roy and I have been together for at least a year and a half probably. Well, I would say, a lot of people are afraid of volunteering and afraid of getting involved with another person, but I think you just have to give it time, and you just have to be willing to be honest and open and caring, and the volunteers will find that they get more out of the relationship than they put into it. Coming and meeting with Roy once a week, it's one of the highlights of my week. I look forward to Monday mornings when I show up and we can take a little drive, go for coffee, play a game, do whatever, and I think you just have to be yourself and not be afraid to become friends with somebody that you might not usually become friends with. I'm going to put this one here.
Yeah.
Okay, now can you find one that goes with that? Mm-hmm. Look up here, Roy.
Shut up.
You talking to yourself again?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, so,
You're not going to get me upset, are you?
no, I don't. If I had to say it, he just gets mad.
Oh,
He does.
I get mad at you? Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Quit it! Quit it! Quit it!
It's been less than a year, I think, that Bill started coming.
Does he remember that he's coming over?
No, but when I tell him that Bill's coming, he knows that Bill's coming.
I'm right here.
I mean, he'll light up. He's a good guy, he'll say.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. And then he's my buddy, and he's a big guy. So he will say that when I tell him that Bill's coming, but he wouldn't remember if I didn't remind him. He would know from one day to the next.
Okay.
It seems that he is having
I'm
a
going to put this one right
fabulous time.
He has a good time with Bill. He really likes Bill.
Now it's your turn
He has
again.
a good time.
Okay,
And
buddy.
another
All right.
man came the other day, Gordon McIver, and stayed with him, and he took him for coffee. And he said he just had
It's
a
your
good
turn.
time.
Pick up
He,
a domino.
saw a couple people that he recognized at McDonald's. So but he couldn't say their
I know,
name,
you got news.
but he recognizes their faces.
Are they working out? Are you getting back?
And I think it challenges him too. Even though that brain isn't doing very much, it challenges him to have someone different here besides
over
me,
there?
and for someone to
Then
pay
sit over there,
attention to
okay.
him and do something with him, other than just take care of
Okay.
him. And then it gives me some relief that I can get away and.
The main reason for me, I've always been one, somebody needed help and I can help, I was there to help. Number two is not too far in the future, I'm going to be needing some of this service, and hopefully that someday somebody can provide it for me instead of me for them.
And I feel the same way.
That's great. That's
So
great.
we work together on this.
I would say it's just a satisfaction of being able to do something for your fellow man and feel good about it.
That's actually
I
really
feel
good.
the same. One of these days, at our age, we're going to need the same help.
There you go.
Even though we have children, they're not always capable of taking
Being
their
there
time, being there
at the proper time.
They've helped me in every way there is to get me where I need to go. Very courteous, always on time. There is no complaints at all, absolutely none. This is the greatest service I could think of.
That is really great.
It is, I mean it. People like me need it who don't drive. And I don't need all those other services that they offer you for $35 a day, you know.
I got involved with SRS actually through Craigslist. They had posted an online request for volunteers, and I was just surfing the web one night, ran into it, and gave them a call the next morning and started to get some details from there. It's actually really easy. It's something that gives you an opportunity to give back to the community a little bit, and it gives you an opportunity to interact with people who definitely need the help. There's a lot of college students who have a lot of free time, and they end up spending that time being bored watching TV or something. So this is definitely a great way to just meet people in your community and just kind of give something back a little bit.
Oh yes, it was like Mother Hubbard's cupboards. We've got a pantry downstairs, and I had stocked up in our freezer. We had that stocked up, and then I couldn't get to the store, and I began to use things from the pantry and from the freezer, and boy, by January it looked like Mother Hubbard's cupboard around here. And then they told me about Senior Resource, and they connected me with David Jackson, and he's been coming ever since, once a week. And that helps, and it takes me about 2 hours. I'll tell you, I try to make it sooner than that, but I just can't do it. I think it's a wonderful thing to get into, because like David said, especially for the college kids, since they have a lot of spare time, and he said they could volunteer 2 hours a week, and it wouldn't cut into any of their activities probably.
Right.
So he was trying to entice them.
Dear DeeAnn, Lynn, and Becky, I was so pleased to hear from you, as I am very concerned about how to get to doctors, dentists, and other very necessary places, as I can't drive and not sure I can ever drive again. I haven't any family, no sisters or brothers, only in Texas, and they are as alone as I am. I visit on the phone with one sister. She is near my age. My health kind of went downhill as all the packing and moving here was just too hard on me. I have not been out and around, so I do not know very many people. I need to rest a lot and enjoy reading and TV and visiting on the telephone most of all. You folks are such a blessing to folks like myself. After not getting to the doctors as often as needed for a long time, just getting to a doctor and dentist will be a huge improvement in my life and a blessing to me. My thanks and gratitude to each one of you sincerely. The lovely birthday card made my days. So kind of you folks to think of me. I appreciate the ride to do my taxes so very much. May God bless everyone.
Senior Resource Services provides many services such as the Time Out Caregiver Respite Program and the Special Friend Program, as well as other services like information and referral, and relies on volunteers to provide these services to the elderly. If you would like to volunteer your time to this wonderful organization or would like to find out more information about Senior Resource Services, please visit our website at www.seniorresourceservices.info or call us at 970-352-9348.